a lot of Bill conversation. And I want to start with that on the show today because a lot of you have just reached out and said, this is who he reminds me of. Because I think we mentioned it briefly yesterday, and there were a couple of comps, and I said, I don't really have a comp. And I don't. There's nobody that just jumps out for me. Like, that's who he runs like. I mean, he is, we had the one tweet from someone who said, man, this guy's got Chris Johnson's speed. I'm like, okay, stop. Okay. He doesn't have Chris Johnson speed. We went back and looked at the 40 times. Chris Johnson, AKA the Tennessee Titans, Chris Johnson, is probably the fastest running back in NFL history. He ran a 4.24. Croskey-Merritt ran a 4.45. Good time. Good time. Not what you would call world-class running back speed at the NFL level, but it's good speed, and you can see it, and it's very functional speed. I think his burst and his quickness is as impressive as his speed. To me, it's his vision. You could see that in the New Mexico, highlight reel when you went back. He's got excellent feel and vision, especially inside as an inside runner. Whether it is finding that seam, being patient, really good with his feet, cutting ability, or laterally being able to break it to the outside with vision that says there's nothing here. And, they had that first touchdown run, untouched. Really good vision to bounce, excellent blocking on the play, no edge setting by the Chargers. Touchdown, Bill Croskey-Merritt. But that's the question. I want to know who you think, he plays like. Who's the running back, current or historically, who you think Croskey-Merritt is a good comp for, running style-wise? It's not easy. I'm going to give you a bunch of these, okay? From where is it? From my friend Scott. Scott writes, not Van Pelt, a different Scott. Scott writes, I think he runs like LaDainian Tomlinson. Okay, LaDainian Tomlinson, Hall of Famer, but stylistically, we can comp him to anybody, great or even average. From GH, I see Tiki Barber. From where is the hold on for 1 second. So many additional Bill tweets here. My fault. Anyway, several people compared him to Mike Thomas, including a caller yesterday, partly because of his number. Man, you got to be old like me to remember Mike Thomas, the 1975 Rookie of the Year for the Redskins, drafted in the 5th round from UNLV, and was a really good running back. And one of those guys that was really good as a vision, wasn't a blazer, wasn't like, a burner, but really had terrific vision between the tackles and was just an excellent back. And was the, offensive rookie of the year, and was the last offensive rookie of the year until RG3 won it in 2012. And that was unique for the time because George Allen didn't draft players. Here's a comp. Kevin, I see a lot of Barry Sanders and Jacory Croskey-Merritt. That from Dom on Twitter. I don't see any Barry Sanders in Jacory Croskey-Merritt. Barry Sanders is not a good. There are very few, if ever, running backs that I would comp to Barry Sanders. He had a style that was totally unique. The thing about Barry Sanders is it was stop, start. It was go backwards to get forwards. It was an odd running style. He was elusive. That was his number one trait, was being able to not get tackled at times 6-7 yards behind the line of scrimmage, because that's the direction he actually went in many times before he would go forward. I don't see that comp at all. Kevin, I see a lot of Emmitt Smith. This from Jacob. I see a lot of Emmitt Smith in Bill. He never takes a direct shot. That is true. His build is completely different than Emmett's. Emmett was built kind of compact and low to the ground. I don't think I see Emmitt Smith, but I know what you're talking about. This from Derek. Derek sees Adrian Peterson. We've got some Hall of Fame comps here. Okay, LT, LaDainian Tomlinson, Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders, Adrian Peterson. I know these are the backs we kind of remember, but give me a back that maybe wasn't an all-time great. There's another one here. This from Maurice. Maurice writes, Kevin, I see a lot of Willis McGahee in Croskey-Merritt. McGahee was just bigger. McGahee was bigger and more physical as a back. Look, what's surprising so far about Bill for me is his yards after contact. He breaks tackles. He's very hard to wrap up, which speaks to clearly he's got lower body strength. But I don't see McGahee. 301-230-0980, 301-230-0980. Who's a good comp? Just looking through. I'm looking for somebody who isn't a Hall of Famer. Kevin, I see Aaron Jones in Bill. Yeah, there's a little bit of Aaron Jones. Jones is kind of I think Aaron Jones is a very good vision runner. Also, a high yards per carry guy, which Bill's leading the league in yards per carry, people. He's leading the league in expected yards per carry. I mean, these are really impressive numbers so far. Small sample size and small number of carries. Maybe if he gets 18, 19, 20, those averages come down a little bit. I could see a little bit of Aaron Jones. Want to find players. Kevin, Lamar Miller. So, because I did ask in my podcast for comps, so I got a lot of these via Twitter and email. Lamar Miller, I always felt like was an underrated kind of Miami back, and ended up playing, by the way, for the Dolphins. And I thought Lamar Miller was the quintessential kind of vision back, wasn't going to blow you away in a lot of ways, but was versatile and really always ended up getting more than you thought he should get. Was Lamar Miller ever a Pro Bowler? Lamar Miller. He did make a Pro Bowl. He made a Pro Bowl with the Texans in 2018. Interesting. He made a Pro Bowl with the Texans in 2018, rushing for 973 yards in 14 games. That seems like a bit of a stretch. 301-230-0980, 301-230-0980. Give me your NFL current or historical comp for Croskey-Merritt. I feel like we may have done this with backs, before the draft, but I don't think we ever did it with Bill. It's now time to do it for Bill. We'll do that next. Want your thoughts on that. Again, Nick Ackridge from Pro Football Focus at 11. A little bit of sort of upon further review of the Chargers games, some things that I went back and found in the All-22 that I want to share with you on the show today. But let's talk Croskey-Merritt and his amazing start as a 7th-round running back draft choice to this 2025 rookie season.